Hi everyone, and today we will be discussing about multiple access protocols in computer networks. Yes, before going to discuss about that, we have to know this multiple access protocols will be coming in which layer. Okay? See, the data link layer is responsible for transmission of data between two nodes. It is mainly data link control and multiple access control. Okay? Multiple access control. See, coming to the data link control, the data link control is responsible for reliable transmission of message over transmission channel by using techniques like framing, error control and flow control. Okay, it's clear? Next, coming to the multiple access protocols. Multiple access control protocols. Okay. See here, if there is a dedicated link between the sender and the receiver, then the data link control layer is sufficient. If there is no dedicated link present, then multiple stations can access the channels simultaneously. So, to overcome this collision and the crosstalk between the channels, multiple channels, when the data is transmitting, we will be going for the multiple access protocols. We will be going for the multiple access protocols. See, for example, in a classroom full of students are present. When a teacher asks a question and all the students start answering simultaneously, what it will happen? All the students starts answering simultaneously. Okay, but everyone are answering the answer, but the teacher is not getting the exact answer due to the noise which is coming from the students to the teacher. What the teacher has to do? The teacher has to control. Okay, the teacher has to control. In the same case, when we come to the multiple access control or protocols, here we will be using decreasing the collision and avoiding crosstalks with the help of multiple access protocols. Yes, coming to the different types of multiple access protocols, it is divided into three types. The first one is random access protocols, controlled access protocols, channelization protocols. And today's class we will be discussing about random access protocols. And in the coming classes we will be discussing about controlled access protocols and channelization protocols. Here, coming to the random access protocols. Here all stations have same superiority, that is no station has more priority than another station. Okay, it's clear? Any station can send data depending on medium state is nothing but it may be in the ideal state or busy state. It may be or ideal state or busy state. Okay, and mainly this random access protocol is having two features. Those are, there is no fixed time for sending data. There is no fixed time for sending data. And the second one is, there is no fixed sequence of stations sending data. It's clear? So, to overcome these things and all, The random access protocol, again, for it is divided into, it is further subdivided as Aloha, CSMA. Okay, like that. Next, coming to the Aloha, in this, multiple stations can transmit data at the same time and can hence lead to collision and data being garbled. Okay, listen carefully. Here, when multiple stations can transmit the data at the same time, this may lead to the collisions and the data may be lost. So what such time? It is again divided into pure Aloha and slotted Aloha. Coming to the pure Aloha, when a station sends data, it waits for an acknowledgement. It waits for an acknowledgement. If the acknowledgement does not come within the allotted time, then the station waits for a random amount of time called back of time, and it resends the data. Okay, it's clear. So since different stations wait for different amount of time, the probability of further collisions will be decreased. Are you clear here? The different stations wait for different amount of time, so that the probability of further collisions will be decreased. If you observe here, vulnerable time is 2 into frame transmission time. See, you may get the problems from this Aloha to find out the pure Aloha and slotted Aloha. These are the formulas for finding out the vulnerable time, throughput and maximum throughput. Next, coming to the slotted Aloha, it is similar to Aloha. We can say it is similar to Aloha, except that we divide time into slots and sending of data is allowed only at the beginning of these slots. It's clear? The time. See, if you consider an example of cinema theaters, there the time slots is given. Okay, the time slots are given, and when the data, means when the person is sent, when the person will be sent at the beginning of the movie, means the time is slotted into or divided into some slots. Okay, it's clear? See here, if a station misses out the allowed time, it must wait for the next slot. I think it's clear when we consider a real-time example of cinema theater. And here also the throughput, vulnerable time, maximum throughput is given. Okay, these are given in the problems, and you have to find the vulnerable time, throughput time and maximum throughput. This is about Aloha. Next, coming to the CSMA. CSMA is nothing but carrier sense multiple access. It ensures fewer means some amount, small amount collisions as the station is required to the first sense the medium. Medium is nothing but for idle or busy before transmitting the data. If it is idle, then it sends data. Otherwise, it waits till the channel becomes idle. It's clear? CSMA. See, and for CSMA, if you consider an example, if station A wants to send data, it will first sense the medium. If it finds the channel idle, it will start sending data, right? However, by the time the first bit of data is transmitted, delayed due to the propagation delay from station A. If station B requests to send data and sends medium, it will also find it idle, will also send the data. Is it clear, the example? See, next coming to the modes of CSMA, access modes. The first one, we have different modes here. The one persistent, non-persistent, P persistent and O persistent. When coming to the one persistent, if it is idle, it sends the data. Otherwise, it continuously keeps on checking the medium for being idle and transmits unconditionally with one probability as soon as the channel will be getting idle. Next, coming to the non-persistent, in the same here also, when it is idle, if it is idle, it sends the data. Otherwise, it checks the medium after a random amount of time, not continuously, and transmits when found idle. See the difference between one persistent and non-persistent. Next, coming to the P persistent, it sends the data with P probability. Here P persistent, so P probability. If the data is not transmitted, 1 minus P probability, then it waits for some time and checks the medium again. Now, if it is found idle, then it sends with P probability. See, observe one thing here. When 1 minus P probability occurs, observes, the data will not be transmitted. It waits until the time gets, or it checks for the medium. If the system is found idle, it sends with P probability. This is the difference for P persistent, where the data is not transmitted and data is transmitted. And next, coming to the O persistent, here the superiority of nodes is decided before and transmission occurs in that order. The superior of nodes are decided here. The medium would be idle and the nodes waits for its time slot to send data. This is about the CSMA access modes. Next, CSMA CD is nothing but carrier sense multiple access with collision detection. Stations can transmit transmission of data if collision is detected. This is very simple. If the collision is detected, the stations automatically can transmit the data. Next, coming to the carrier sense multiple access with collision avoidance. The process of collisions detection involves sender receiving acknowledgement signals. Okay, the data means the process when the data is transmitting. The process of collisions detection involves sender receiving acknowledgement signals. Okay, if there is just one signal, it's one, then the data is successfully sent. But if there are two signals, it's one and the one with which it has collided. It's clear, I think so. Then it means a collision has occurred here. Okay. Next, we are having how can we avoid collisions. Okay. See, we have a interframe space, contention window, acknowledgement window. In interframe space, station waits for medium to become idle. It waits to become idle. And if it found idle, it does not immediately send the data. Why? Because it has to avoid the collision due to propagation delay. Rather, it waits for a period of time called interframe space. It's clear? Next, coming to the contention window. Here the amount of time is divided into slots. If the sender is ready to send data, it chooses a random number of slots as wait time, which doubles every time medium is not found idle. Next, coming to the acknowledgement, the sender retransmits the data if acknowledgement is not retransmitted. Not received before timeout. Next, see, I think this is very clear to you. And The remaining things will be discussed in the next class. Thank you.